Hey everybody, Michael Snyder, Pacific Northwest Weather Watch. Today is February 1st. Happy 1st of February to everybody out there. Taking a look at what is going on across the Pacific Ocean and the Pacific Northwest. Lots of cold air aloft rushing in here. Had some accumulating snowfall at my house just a few minutes ago. I'm going to go out there and check the web count and try to take a measurement in a bit here to see if we did get that first measurable snowfall. Looked like it was approaching a tenth of an inch. It was sticking on the street a little bit out there. So that's going to kind of be the ongoing theme as we go through the day. Today's off and on showers. I know we've got some snowfall accumulation across like Federal Way and overnight early this morning for Everett and up towards Whatcom County. So that's going to kind of be continuing on in through the day today and tomorrow. Temperatures will drop off as we go through next week. We will have additional snowfall chances, but I got to show you what the latest in the weather models are showing as of right now. The new weather models have come in this morning, and you'll want to see that. Atmospheric river pouring into California will be affecting portions of Oregon here over the next few days and on into next week, potentially spreading heavy snowfall across eastern Oregon, Idaho, Montana. How far north will that band of snowfall get? Good question. We'll take a look at the models in that, but look at all the lightning strikes here with this atmospheric river, Kona low out over the Pacific Ocean, streaming back into California as we speak. Now, taking a little bit closer look, you can see some of these showers. This one moved over SeaTac is the one that dropped that snowfall that was sticking on the roadway here at my house. I don't see any lightning strikes here across Pacific Northwest. All you do see the plentiful showers for the coastal areas, no doubt dropping snowfall down towards the surface here. Let me know if you're on some of the coast beaches out there and you see some of that snow flying as well. And again, you can kind of see these cold tops, these cold cloud tops that will be moving in here as we go through the day today and tomorrow. Atmospheric river moisture there just starting to clip southern Oregon as we speak. So this is some of the video I caught this morning. Look at this wall of snow moving across the Puget Sound. There's Three Tree Point. Normally you can see Vashon Island clear as day across the Puget Sound, but not today. This thing just came over like a blanket, like a cloak, just flowing across the Puget Sound. And this is what dropped some of the snowfall that was coating the street. Now, this is looking off towards the SeaTac. There's a SeaTac tower. Look at the snowflakes flying. Visibility was still pretty good at my house, but you could really see where the heavy snow line was right across Burien, Normandy Park, and out towards SeaTac here. So, yeah, always love to see the flakes flying in the air. And this is what I got here this morning. We are starting to coat the street. This was probably 15 minutes ago. We get a tenth of an inch of snow out of this. Coating the street out there, so watch out. These showers can drop that quick amount. That gets really slick really fast. Be careful out there. It drops the temperature really quick when these showers do move over your area. Now, we got winter weather advisories for some places still. We'll take a look at the latest on that. Some of the coastal areas are under the gun for some pretty heavy snowfall. Some of the foothill communities, especially when you get away from the water. But I'm pretty close to the water, and that coated the roads here. So you can imagine it's going to be even worse if you're farther away from the water, if you have any elevation at all. And we got some chilly temperatures as we go through this upcoming week, really dropping things off as we go to Wednesday and Thursday, especially Spokane getting down towards 9 on Thursday. Look at Omak, 4 degrees, Colville, 1 degree there. Chelan getting down to 7, some single digits showing up. And Portland, you got the winter storm warnings for some of the coastal range, and there's going to be some additional snow chances. But as we go on in through next week, the Willamette Valley starts to get in on its best snow chances into the lower elevations as well. The Arctic boundary is going to be hung up here. We got that atmospheric river from California up into Oregon, across Idaho and Montana. It can be a real battle of some subtropical moisture streaming into a cold Arctic air mass. Has some high-end potential across southwest Montana and even down towards places like Yellowstone. Could be some valley freezing rain on the leading edge of that Arctic air mass as well. Now, looking out there across western Montana, Idaho, look at all the winter storm warnings, winter weather advisories, watches. You got high wind warnings. You even got avalanche warnings out there, and they do not mince any words here. A large avalanche is large enough to bury or kill you, and some will release spontaneously. So yeah, be careful out there, especially above 4,000 feet. Now, taking a look at the latest here. So we've got some last minute news. Not great for snow lovers here, but not all is lost also. So if we take a look, you'll notice that the polar lobe here is a bit weaker just versus yesterday's run on the GFS. That's not good because the 525 line is now backed up a little bit farther to the west. The Arctic front is still right across southwest BC, and we'll be trying to leak out as we go on into Monday and Tuesday, but the polar lobe is weaker, and this isn't good. You know, you don't have this, the air aloft is not quite as cold. The dynamics for snowfall into the lower elevations are not as good. But will it pick up some Pacific moisture and start to spread it back over the region with the cold air in place? That is somewhat of a realistic possibility as we go through the midweek period here, or even Monday and Tuesday. We're not out of the woods here for getting some measurable snowfall into the lower elevations. And then the GFS shows this system moving up the coastline as we go on in through Thursday and Friday. And that could bring some measurable snowfall to the Willamette Valley, perhaps even spreading a bit further north up into Washington with the cold air mass in place. And extended models continue to show us being chilly as we go on through the extended forecast as well. So the European now, this is just this morning's hot off the presses versus last night's. Put this into motion. Polar lobe drops down, and now you'll see what happens here. We start to go off in towards Wednesday, and we're starting to lose a little bit of the strength of this here. You can kind of see how it's scaling back, pushes off to the west and a little bit weaker there. And if I back this up a little bit more, you can kind of see, yeah, this is not the perfect track. You'd like this these 500 millibar heights to get back out across the areas that you want snowfall a little bit better. But this low gets cut off and it's a bit closed, so it just kind of meanders back to the southwest. And hopefully it picks up some Pacific moisture for snow lovers, then brings it back up into that cooler air mass as we go through the midweek period. But still, that's a ways out. Then you can see the same system on the European is showing the GFS. It moves into Northern California, would be bringing again some additional rounds of snowfall with that. And then we'll see what comes in the extended forecast. As you can see, the European wants to continue to bring some chilly air, north flow back into the region, and some interesting systems into the Pacific Northwest with some chilly air in place. So it looks like we might stay chilly through the extended, but of course we'll worry about that as we go day at a time. And when I show these upper level charts, 500 millibars, lower heights, cooler, more dense air, better chance for snow versus higher heights, warmer, less dense air, or a ridge. So trough and ridge there. Now, taking a look at Quileute cross-section here, you can see as we go through the diurnal cycle during the daytime, we do go above freezing for many areas, but the overnight lows and some of these early morning showers could really be problematic that are falling across the region. And you can see we remain chilly through the extended forecast as well as cold air aloft around Portland, something similar here. And then probably later on through next week, Thursday, Friday, the better chances for some of the Willamette Valley is you remain cold all the way on in through February. You know, you're looking on February 11th there. And Seattle, Tacoma, something similar. We are going to be cold here as we go through this upcoming week, potentially through the extended forecast. Now, if we take a look at the European on the left versus the GFS on the right, let's compare these model runs. And you can see, again, the showers that are ongoing all the way through the day tomorrow. And by the time we drop into Sunday night and a Monday morning, if we get additional bouts of moisture back across the region, that could really start to bring some sticking snowfalls. But the question is, will the low be close enough? Will there be enough moisture? Or is this just going to kind of be flurry activity? Or will we drop a couple inches of snowfall into that sub-freezing air and really start to bring some disruptive snow? Then there's also the chance as this low pivots and pinwheels and does the funky chicken here and pushes towards the Oregon coastline. Will it spread some precipitation back north as we go through Tuesday night and Wednesday? Willamette Valley, Western Washington could get some of that. And then the GFS brings this system a bit further north, and that bounces snow back up across Western Oregon as well. So we do still have multiple chances, but right now we're looking off into next week at this point. So there still are snow chances coming up here, folks. Do not let your guard down. It does not take much snow on that roadway or slick conditions to really ruin your day. And then you can see we remain cold through the extended forecast on the European. The European, kind of a cruel tease, continues to show these systems bringing, pretty dynamic storms back into the Pacific Northwest, but way too far out to even get caught up in just yet. If we take a look at accumulated positive snow depth change in inches, I'm going to run through all the way through the model run here, and you can kind of see how they get these fits and starts and stops of some measurable precipitation, some slick spots out here, and it becomes more and more problematic as you move on in towards Monday and Tuesday. The colder air starts to get down into the region here, so you get an inch of snowfall when the temperatures below freezing. That's a big problem driving around if you're trying to fly out of SeaTac or whatnot, or Painfield or something like that, or Vancouver International, where heavier snowfall continues to show up in the European. Also, the coastal areas closer to the proximity of that upper level low as we go through the next few days. But again, I'll scroll through that, and you can kind of see the nightmare of this forecast as we go on into the extended forecast. And then, of course, the European with its fantasy snowfall events here at the very end of the run, kind of like a tease, we'll call it there. And this is snow depth, so that would be kind of interesting there, but too far out. Now, if I show you the North American model, 850 millibars, the cold air aloft has arrived just as forecast, and then I put this into motion, and you see the cooler air continue on into the day Sunday, but then you see the surface low drop there, and if you notice that, you see it retrograde back to the west, it's not really what you want to see, because then that limits how much moisture is able to get back up into Portland or Seattle. That's if you want to see snowfall anyway. If you don't want to see snow, that's kind of a better sign here. So a little bit of a last second downgrade in some of the models, but there still is the chance. You got to really be careful here. I don't want to like let the guard down. All of a sudden you wake up and you're trying to fly out a SeaTac on Monday or Tuesday morning and there's 2 inches of snowfall that fell overnight, or it's snowing when you're trying to go out there and that's just absolute mayhem at the airport or something like that. Or I-5 freezes over one of these mornings and you've got an inch or two of snow on the ground. It's a big problem. So if we take a look at the herd, this is the 12Z run today. You can see these showers just continue to roll over the area off and on as we go through the day. Today, tonight, tomorrow morning, just round after round of some of these snow showers. And any one of these have the potential to drag that snow level down towards the surface. And you can see it's pretty persistent across some of the coastal areas and maybe up towards Vancouver, BC. And yeah, I mean, I don't want to leave any place out here as well, because again, it doesn't take much with some of these showers with the very cold air aloft. Now, if we take a look at the European ensemble mean, I'll put this into motion. It kind of gives you a wider view. And you notice how we kind of get cut off from the main tropospheric polar vortex here. We got our own thing going on here across Pacific Northwest, but it's got no steering mechanism here. It's still pretty chilly air aloft, but it's not that strong of a polar lobe. And it's not that well placed, but it's still cold enough where it could bring snowfall to the area. And then it's going to allow for that colder air to come in. And then how much moisture and how well developed will this low be as we go through the mid portion of the week and bring that moisture back up over the area. And then, so that's about hour 174, the 12Z. Let me update that and we'll jump back out to hour 174 and we'll play out the end of it too, because you can kind of see the ridges here. We continue to bring some of this cooler air down. Looks like the ensembles do agree we'll remain on the cool side of things as we go on in through the mid portion of February. Now, this is 24-hour minimum 2-meter temperature. This is pretty important. I probably should actually show it a little bit earlier in the video. But as we go through Monday morning, look at Seattle's at 30. You're talking about sub-freezing temperatures out there. Any moisture that's falling is going to be refreezing potentially at times, and still some showers out and about. And then we go through Tuesday. There's Tuesday morning, 29 for Seattle. You got 20s in the Willamette Valley. Look at Tuesday. I'll probably actually be the Tuesday morning low, 26. And then we go on in through, we're looking at Thursday, 24, 25, the Saturday, and then some chilly air staying through the extended forecast as well. So yeah, you can see the chilly air showing up and staying in the European run as of this morning. This is also the probability of 2-meter temperature anomaly equal to or less than -5 Fahrenheit below your normal temperature. So again, the anomaly. So, but if I put this into motion, you can see as I scroll on in through the forecast this morning, it kind of shows that chillier pattern hanging with us here. So don't let your guard down yet, because again, you saw what happened at my house today with just one of these. It's not that cold. It was like 37, 36 degrees when it started snowing, and that quickly brought the freezing level down to the surface. So we're not even into the coldest portion of this pattern yet. Here's the 6 to 10 day, no surprise, 6 to 10 day, 8 to 14 day, and blah, blah, blah. It's not telling us much, but yeah, again, just a reminder here, this is what is possible here.
We are starting to coat the streets.
37 when this started, and it's coating the road, made it very slick.
Get a 1/10 of an inch of snow out of this.
Not that far from the Puget Sound as well. So just kind of try to keep that in the back of your mind. And again, I'll leave you with some scenes of that snow kind of coming across the Puget Sound. A nice blanket of snow here, just kind of a wall. You can see the dark texture at the bottom of that, and Three Tree Point kind of disappearing underneath that snow shower. But anyway, yeah, I'll probably check back in again later tonight. Maybe we'll do another live stream tonight. I have my son's soccer game is today. Then I'll probably come back and at least do another video or another live stream tonight, because we are not out of the woods. I don't want to make it sound like we're not going to get snow now or anything. It was just kind of a little bit of a downgrade here over the next couple days. But there are definitely snowfall chances coming as we go through next week as well. So anyway, I'll check back with you guys tonight. Hope you're having a good day otherwise.